And good evening, everyone, to another unscripted and unchained RPG review. Oftentimes I call this the OSR tabletop. GM Bloodworth here, and as you can tell by the title, Convention Crud Recovery. As many of you know, I went to the Page 2 convention this past weekend, so from Thursday through Sunday, and came home Sunday and was feeling just a little bit under the weather, and that has progressively gotten worse, up through today. I'm still, coughing and runny nose, potentially ran a slight fever around 102, on all kinds of medication and everything. I've missed work both Tuesday and Wednesday, and probably tomorrow as well. So I'm trying to get back. I was really excited after the convention to get right back into gaming, and that clearly has not happened. But I took about a day and a half off from doing any kind of videos, and so just want to do a real quick live stream here and just touch bases with everyone. So I am recovering. I expect to be right back into the mix of things. My Fallout game for Thursday mornings, really Thursday at noon through 2:30. I was not going to be doing that this week anyway, because I'm hoping to be back at work tomorrow. But if not, then I'll probably be scheduling a doctor's appointment. Just to see how everything is going and see if I'm running a temperature again tomorrow. Then I will definitely go back to the doctor again and end up taking off from work again. I postponed my Castles and Crusades game Tuesday night. Hopefully be able to run that tomorrow night. So this whole flu or whatever I came home with is definitely throwing my plans off for the week of gaming. I do want to make a few announcements about starting up my my one-shots and my mini campaigns through my Discord channel, and I will be looking to run a series of one-shots and mini campaigns for Mighty Protectors. Basically, this is Villains and Vigilantes 3rd edition or 3.0. Really excited about getting back into doing some supers, tabletop role-playing games. And, V&V was always my favorite of all of them anyway. So picked this up, met Jeff D, and, had several conversations with him. And, I know that some people have said, oh, they won't buy his stuff because he's a real douchebag on the internet, and that is certainly true as far as my interactions with him on the internet as well. But in person, he was completely different, and in the convention space, completely different. And it goes back to something I had said with another convention goer over the weekend, that oftentimes when we're online, we're saying things that we might not normally say when we're in person, and that's not to say that we're fake online. It just means that we're a little bit we're less guarded when we're online, and sometimes we will go over over a line that we normally wouldn't go under, or go across. in person as well. So that was a conversation I was having with this individual, and it just is what it is, and and that goes for the same thing with the special guests and those individuals that are there. I'd love to, um, I'd love to see them in a different capacities, let's say, and how they act differently, whether or not they're the same way behind closed doors as they are when they're presenting presenting a public face that is actually in public, that is actually in live in person and whatnot. But anyway, um, so I see that there are several people watching along. So hello, everyone. I apologize um, for the impromptu messaging here. I tried to see why this, wasn't posting up on on the channel. So let's see. Now it's showing. Now that I've launched it, it's showing. So let me just enable the I want to enable the no, I can't do it right now. But anyway, I wanted to enable the closed captioned, but it's not letting me do it at this moment. So I will come back and I'll set up the closed caption later. I think it will work that way as well. Hey, Decado, how's it going? Hey, and if anyone wants to jump in, this is going to be more of an open mic night for certain. And so I will let anyone jump in there, so we can chat about. I labeled this thing, convention crud, recovery, and that's basically, I think the best way for me to recover from this is to get back into doing some videos and talking about what my plans are for the next couple of weeks and months as far as gaming is concerned. I just spent the entire day, sitting downstairs on a lazy boy chair and isolated from the rest of my family, because I certainly don't want to get any of them sick as well. My wife has been waiting on me hand and foot, and I really apologize to her for coming home from a convention. She was not happy with it, and neither was my daughters as well. They were like, oh, this is was it worth it? Was it worth being away from us? And now you're coming home and you're, away from us again for another week. So I get it. And it's, hopefully that doesn't put a real damper on any future conventions that I do. But, I think my 3-day or 3.5-day conventions are probably, highly questionable whether or not those are going to happen. But anyhow, let me get back to talking about gaming. So Mighty Protectors is certainly something I'm going to be looking to run. I'm going to start doing the walkthrough or the page through the rule book on the channel. So be on the lookout for those as well. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to the channel and hit the alert button so you'll see when these things drop. I apologize for this live stream, very impromptu, because I just wanted to get back into the swing of things and get back to putting up some content on the channel. And this is the quickest and easiest way for me to do it, and that is a live stream. So the other thing that I'm going to start running is Amazing Adventures. So I'm going to start digging through and tearing through this as well. I do have Jason Vey coming on the channel for an interview next Thursday. So Thursday the 30th at 8:15 p.m. Jason Vey will be on the channel. He will be talking about the state of Amazing Adventures as it stands right now, and then future excuse me, future supplements coming forward. And I was having that conversation with him, when he was talking about some of the setting pieces and the setting supplements that are going to come out for Amazing Adventures. So I'm really excited. You are going to hear for the first time some upcoming projects that are being done for Amazing Adventures. So, you know, definitely try to catch that live stream next Thursday at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. Myself and Jason Bay. If you watch my interview process, I basically let them have free reign. They get to run all, and talk about what they want and whatnot. So what kind of game will you be running with AA? I'm really going back and forth with. I am leaning towards I'm leaning towards something built around Robert E. Howard's uh, seaman, pugilistic kind of thing. So like a Pete Costigan, Pete. No, it's not Pete Costigan. It's Stephen Costigan. I forget. Um, it's this character who is kind of a brutish of a man, a sailor who is a boxer, not really a technical boxer, but more of a pugilist, more of a bruiser kind of guy, and he goes across across mostly East Asia, so from ports of like Singapore or Hong Kong or Tokyo and whatnot, and he just goes from port to port to port and gets in all kinds of trouble that almost always involves some kind of always a fight that he has to fight to win $50 or whatever to pay off some other debt that he might have. And then he always gets involved with you know, a maiden in distress and the underside of the Orient, usually involved with whether it be yakuza or some other Chinese related like Tong kind of activity, and he kind of blunders his way into these larger scope adventures. And then, bottom line is all he wants to do is um, go from port to port to port, getting into these, boxing matches, just to make some, extra cash or whatnot. And that's where I'm kind of leaning with it, Roger. So I want to run a genre hopping adventure. Yeah, so I think that these stories of Robert E. Howard stories will have the opportunity to do seafaring and pugilism and getting into some of those other mysticism type of adventures as well, kind of a mix. So that's where I'm kind of leaning towards. Um, what book of stories? So let's see. I have it on my. I have it on my thing. Let's see. I'm going to share a screen here. So let's do. Now I have the audio books, and then I also have. Why is it doing this? All right, let's forget that. Google. It's Steve Costigan. All right, let's see if I can share. So basically, you have it's part of his complete collection of published stories. So his Robert E. Howard, Sailor, Steve Costigan, complete stories. I just finished listening to it on what you call it, on Amazon's audiobook series. It's about 12 hours or so of listening. So that's basically where I'm kind of leaning towards. But Robert E. Howard has um, so many other kind of stories that you can kind of mix genres with. Another one I would do is, potential is Lord of the Dead. So let's see. So this is another one that you might also check out if you're looking for. So this one here is another one. It's kind of like a Fu Manchu-ish kind of story, and this is a really cool, another really cool adventure. And these kind of, these are pulp action. These are pulp action stories. So it really is designed, or actually, I should say, Amazing Adventures is really based on pulp action. So you can definitely get into it there. Um, yeah, so that one's a really cool one. Like I said, I'm usually pretty picky with my audiobooks, because I get the credits and I have like seven credits in the thing, and then I pause it for a couple months until I get them spent up. And so I usually look for something that is over at least over 10 hours of listening. And so the Pete Costigan was perfect. It was around 12 hours or so. Now, sometimes you get lucky and you find something that's like a full book anthology for like 22 or even more hours. And that's a really good bargain for the price, because, when you have the Amazon Prime service, and the uh, you're paying for the audiobooks, you get a credit for every month, and the monthly cost is like $15 a month. So I usually look for books that are, again, at least 12 hours long, or certainly over $15 in value. That way, it's a better bang for the buck. So yeah, Amazing Adventures is going to be awesome. First of all, it is it's the Siege Engine. This is Castles and Crusades. So it's going to be very, very easy to transition over to this, and and with all of my familiarity with Castles and Crusades, and same thing for you, Takato. This is something I would definitely jump on if you don't already have it. So, of my mini campaigns or one shots or whatever, um, these two are definitely going to be part of that mix. And Amazing Adventures might actually be a much longer campaign for me. So I will see. I will see how many. I'll see how many players I can get involved with it. I think that I shouldn't have a problem with getting five or more players involved with it, but I'm just wondering how well the genre of it kind of matches up with that many player characters. So I'm thinking it would probably work better with two or three players rather than five or six. Um, Now, Mighty Protectors, you can go with a lot more player characters, because you have superhero groups and such, so it actually plays to a larger group a little bit better. So I'll be dabbling with at least those two. I'm waiting on getting my hardcover copies of Adventures Dark and Deep. So that is the second edition of Adventures Dark and Deep. Uh, Two huge, beautiful books. I saw them, in person at page two. Had several conversations with Joseph Block. He's a really great guy, and I picked up the Greyhawk supplement that he had written. So basically it's Greyhawk set to it's a system agnostic, or at the very least it's going to be Adventures Dark and Deep Greyhawk, and I will look to do a I'm going to look to do that as a long standing campaign as well, is to use Adventures Dark and Deep and do a long, months long or even years long campaign using Adventures Dark and Deep. So if you're just coming on, because I see more people are logging in, and this is my Convention Crud recovery live stream. So basically, just trying to get back into recovering. I was like really sick Monday, and Tuesday was progressively a little bit worse. Today I'm feeling a little bit better, but still not anywhere near 100% where I feel like talking for 3 hours and running a game, or wasn't able to go to work today. That's for certain. Hoping to go to work tomorrow. That way I can put in my hours and also put in for the other 2 days I lost, because I do have accumulated sick time with them, and I'd hate to put in for sick time for the entire week, not having even set my foot in the door for the week. So hopefully I'm feeling a lot better tomorrow, and I'll be able to go into that. And then if I do go into work, then I will be running my Castles and Crusades game tomorrow night, which was a carryover from Tuesday night when I was supposed to be running it. Now, and that, yeah, thank you, Steve. Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit better today than I was yesterday, and so hey, Matthew, how's it going? Yeah, so Matthew was one of my players at Page. It was an awesome session. We really had a good time with that particular grouping, and we I hope you didn't come home sick. I started looking when I was looking for the graphic for this thumbnail. I saw some things that was like the 5 things you need to do to avoid convention crud, and I unfortunately did not do that. Let's see, convention crud. Let's see if I see that. How to prevent convention crud resources. So let's see. Maybe I'll show this. So let's get rid of that. And some of these I did not do, so that's a learning experience as well. So let's see. Preventative: stock up on hand sanitizer to bring to convention. Stock up on disinfectant wipes for your booth. Drink some energy emergency or equivalent to keep healthy leading up to the show. This isn't the scientific or medical recommendations to specify ward of illness, but vitamin C has a lot of benefits. All right. So far, I didn't do any of these things. If you're feeling sick before a con, but face mask for yourself so you don't get others sick as well. All right. Well, that wasn't my condition. Get the flu shot if you haven't already. I didn't get the flu shot yet. Get a good night's sleep in the coming days before the convention. Anxiety and stress can really make this. Yeah, I wasn't feeling any anxiety or stress for it, although I didn't sleep very much the first night. I guess I was just too pumped up. At the convention, wash your hands every single time it's possible. I wash my hands several times, but the bathroom there did not have paper towels, and so I was just drying them on my sweatpants, and I really tried to avoid using the air blower for drying your hands because there's all kinds of nasty particles in that shit, and you should never use those things. Remember to eat a snack, keeping your energy levels. I didn't do that while I was playing. Cough and sneeze into the crook of your elbow. I always do that. Use hand sanitizers. Didn't bring. Uh, Wipe down your table. That was unnecessary. I should have wiped down the table before I sat down, I guess. Don't share food or drinks. Didn't do that. Don't go overboard on drinking. Okay. Oh, you mean like bar? No, I only had one drink per night. Hydrate. I had plenty of water. If you accept card payments, look in getting rubber time. No. Mask up. I didn't mask up. So they have a few things there that I could have certainly done. And I named a Weird Frontiers Kickstarter leather cover for $75. I'm still shocked. Yeah, that's huge. That's a huge leather. That is a great price. The regular hardcovers ran $100 for the two. So I don't know if that's the full, if that's both books combined, if that includes the Tomb of Magic. But if it doesn't, that's still a good price, especially for the leather brown cover. That's a cool price. So, yeah, like I said, I'm on the road to recovery from convention crud. I could have done some of those preventative things. I really should have thought about doing that. Now, my next convention is actually Roger's convention, but I'm only going to be there one night, so I'm not so concerned about I'm not so concerned about an extended stay. So I could certainly fortify myself and have everything ready to and clean up much quicker. So again, that's not until June, and ever since I tried to clean up my and fix my drive-through RPG, I have been having trouble. All right, here we go. All right, I'm going to do you a solid here, Roger. So here we go, everyone. So the Central New York's only annual RPG convention. This is June 14th to the 15th. So it is just a 2-day convention, Saturday and Sunday. It is in New Hartford. It's technically Utica, but New Hartford, New York. And really love the graphics. Really love the, it's like the old red box cover, but you have the cartoon characters from the 1983 cartoon. And 2-day pass is only $25. Vendor tables are only $100, and celebrating old school gaming from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. RPGs running all day. I believe it runs from 10 to 10. Yes, 10 to 10, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. So I am hosting, let's see, submissions. So the submissions I put in for is on Saturday, I am running at 10 a.m. Shards of Ymir, which is a Shadow Dark adventure that I wrote myself. And then actually all three of these are all of my own writing. Then Saturday evening, I'm doing The Awakening, which is a Fallout RPG adventure that I wrote. And finally, The Horror from the Mound, which is a Robert E. Howard story that I have converted to Deadlands second edition. So, and that will be Sunday morning, and then I am leaving right after that, and I am done for the weekend. So I am planning on obviously attending this, and I'll get back. Oh, I am planning on, let's bring it back. You can see all the cons I have uh, set up here, ready to go. Where'd you go? Oh, here it is. That's weird. So there you have it. Roger, I was looking to this week go to my two local uh, comic book gaming shops and drop off, because I have this stack of cards. So I'll split them up into like 1/3 each, and drop those off. So see if anyone you know, wants to attend. I'm going to drop those off there at. I have three places. I have a little like almost like a Magic the Gathering kind of battle card shop in my town, and then I have a less local but still within distance comic book store, and then finally a big gaming shop that's in the mall. So those three spots, I will be dropping off those. Hmm. Yeah, it is a really cool flyer. So yeah, that's pretty much where I'm looking at as far as my gaming is concerned over the next couple of months. I'm tweaking I'm tweaking the adventure for the Fallout game, because that adventure I wrote it for my home game. That's the one that we're doing, and that's what we've been running on Thursdays. And I need to make that starting adventure a little bit more convention friendly. And this is something that people have been discussing on various channels over the last couple of days, since many of us had gone to the convention. And it really is a different experience that you're trying to create for a convention game, and you're definitely going to go more rules light, and in comparison, like I've run Weird Frontiers at a convention, and you have to trim out so many of the rules in that game system, that in order for it to be compatible with convention play. It's a great game. It's so much fun to run at a convention, or play in at a convention, but it does have to be tweaked down. um, but when you're running a convention game, it's pretty much, you're going to constantly look to see that everyone at your table is engaged, and you have to look at the time that you have allotted and really focus on that as it goes along. And you're looking to see how you can alter the pace of the story of the adventure, as it's transpiring over the time that you're going. Shadow Dark is really friendly towards that if you're using the timer for their torches, because now you'll know I have a 1 hour timer on this, and so on and so forth. It you'll go through 3 torches in one game session at a convention, and so that helps you keep you on pace. The other thing that that I think is really important is to see how far along the players are with the adventure, because you want the adventure to conclude during the game session at a convention. You don't want to have it just stop. And that's when they're coming in saying, "Hey, you got to clear your table because the next game is scheduled for now." So again, you're going to have to look at that pacing. You're going to have to see what's going on, and you might have to, remove content along the way, but not something that is going to be obvious that you removed something. But you have to be much more subtle with it. So you do need to have adventures that are, very easily to run in a 3-hour time slot. That way you can give or take or whatnot. I forget exactly, like Matthew was in my game, and I didn't run into a timing issue with any of the 3 games that I ran at Page. I think one ended around the 3-hour mark, and then one, they all ran about one ran about 2.5 hours. So we came in at 2.5 hours, and they completed the entire adventure in 2.5 hours. Now, if we have, like, as long as you're giving them 2.5 hours or 3 hours worth of play, they should be good with that. 2.5 hours is kind of short, for it. But the players really did get all the way through to the end. Now, they would have certainly had used up more time if their player characters died earlier and we had to re-roll new characters. So that was always built into there as well. Let me see. I did for now the pre-gens came for, like, the adventures that I ran for Tom Wilson. Oh, sorry. The Slumbering City came with its own pre-gens. All right, those were created by Tom Wilson. The other 2 adventures that I ran, I created the pre-gens, and I created them specifically for those adventures. So they were really designed for, they were really designed to give the players at the table the most versatility for it to work out for them. So yes, I think that you should custom build the pre-gens for the adventure you're going to run, and make sure you have kind of all the bases set up. I really do think that you should write the adventure for the con. Or if you're using them, like I said, Tom Wilson's adventures for that con that I used in that con were really well written for using the 3-hour time block for them, and what I tweaked with them was just kind of making the adventure my own to a certain extent, and so I think it works really well combined, writing a custom built pre-gens and then writing an adventure specifically for the con. So you randomize everything, yeah. Mm-hmm. So I hope that answered your question, Matthew. I think a combination, custom build pre-gens, and write your own adventure is where I would stand on that. I'm sorry, chewing the honey filled drop was not the best idea. Other things you want to do for a con, as far as running your table, I've said this before on my channel as well. You want a really nice display. You want to display it so that when people are walking by, they can tell what game you're running. Um, they will, see it and be like, hey, that looks like, it has a little bit more, eye catching, and you're you're advertising you're advertising the game system that you're running at a convention, and you're also advertising your ability as a game master. I think when you're displaying your table, because when people are walking by and they're looking to see what's going on at your table, I think the more that you have laid out there, um, the more visuals that you might have or whatnot, it's going to be like, hey, that person really did dedicate some time to doing what they were doing, and so that is, something that is really an advertisement for yourself as a game master. Um, you know, I don't know what I don't know what the draw was to my table. Um, but I had a waiting list for every single table I ran at Page. The first one, the Thursday night game, I had 9 people on the waiting list, and I had upped the number of players at the table when I was speaking to Ron, the organizer of Page, and I was like, "Listen, um, 5 is not enough." I said, I want to up every single table to 6. And in the one table, I actually increased it to a 7th. I invited a player to actually join in. So I had 7 players at that table. And that convinced me that I could run those games with 7 players as well. So that will be another change that I'll probably do. Roger, in particular, let you know that Shadow Dark game that I'm running can definitely handle 7 players. That particular adventure actually worked well with 7 players, so that will be a modification I'll do, is increase the number of players. But let me know if the tables can handle 7, 8 of us total at a table. And we could chat about that a little bit later on. It should be able to handle 8 players at a table, but we'll see. Um, but yeah, that adventure particularly works really well with 7-player characters. So that's definitely going to do. And that's another thing that you have to do. When you're planning your con games, is you have to select a number of player characters that are going to work best for the adventure. Now, if you're running Blade Runner is designed for 4-player characters. All right, it's absolutely designed for it. There's a reason why they only give you 4 pre-gens. All right, and it works very, very well with 4 pre-gens, and it's really designed for the players to go off on their own and basically split the party as well. Whether it be 2 and 2, or 3 go do one thing and 1 go on their own to do another, which I was really surprised with their design of their adventure really being set up like that, because you're almost always on the clock. There's a time a timer running, because the events are progressing whether the players engage with them or not, and so the players have to really be on the ball with doing their investigation, and it's a really cool dynamic to have in it. It's something that my Shards of Ymir has as well, where the players are kind of timed. They have a rival group that is, that is, competing for the same prize, and the players start off about 12 hours behind them, and there are several opportunities for them to, based on their decisions and their effectiveness with those decisions, to actually cut that lead down to zero, and there's even opportunities for them to surpass and get beyond them. um, my player group in at page two, which was the last game I ran, that was my Saturday night game, they actually ended up overtaking the party and moving beyond them and getting to the prize at the end faster than the other group. The other group got bogged down with fighting a group of Vanir warriors. They were Azir, and they were fighting Vanir warriors, a war party, actually, a very large war party, which the player characters avoided getting into that fight. Um, Now, it was 7 players, and 4 of them died on the ice bridge, which I was not expecting to happen. But 4 of them died on the ice bridge, and then the other 3 survived the adventure, but they did not engage with the final boss. But instead, somehow, they managed to get out with one of the shards because that player rolled a natural 20 on the way out and actually grabbed a shard, a crystal, that was their whole. This is the proof that we actually completed this adventure. So it was a really, really good game. Um, Great group of players, and they worked really well together, and they really hammered away the story. I really liked the way that it turned out. I mean, the 4 player characters that died, they died in the next to last scene, of it. So it wasn't as much of a letdown as, as it might have appeared, so, and then they had a good time with it. They had a really good time with it. They took it for what it was. It was a Robert E. Howard story. And, the fact that characters are going to die was certainly cooked into the the theme of the adventure. Yeah, they are really well designed, those Blade Runner ones. The only thing I didn't like about it was that they give you just 4 pre-gens for every single box set, and of the adventures. And I was like, what if the pre-gens died in the first one? It was like you can afford to give a different group of pre-gens across the 4 adventures, especially if you're adding new character professions, which they did. And I even spoke to them about that. I was like, how are you adding a new character class, basically, and you're not adding a pregen? It costs you nothing to put a pregen in that thing, next to nothing to do that. And they didn't respond or to that or whatnot. And it's a reason why that was the number one reason why I did not back the most recent recent boxed adventure. Was you're not going to provide a pregen. I'm not going to buy it then. I'm not going to use the same pregens over and over again. um, I want to add some more to it. But I do have the first 2. So, and the first one is the one that comes with the pregens, and then the other one is, I'm looking to see where I have them. I don't know. They're on one of my shelves. It's probably on my bottom shelf over there. I can't get to it easily. It's underneath that table there. So anyway, um, so yeah. So I noticed with the dragon. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense. It's especially if they're going to add new new character classes, then every new character class should end up with should have a new pregen added to it. Yeah, it's definitely annoying. It absolutely is. Especially since I was asking about it during the Kickstarter program. I was like, why don't you have as a stretch goal a new set of pregens? I said it's just so useful, and they never responded to the question. And I was like, all right, fine, I'm not going to back it then. That was for their most recent one. Was it Case File 3? Um, I forget what it's called. I'm looking to see if they have the new. I'm looking to see if they have the new ones up yet. Yeah, so Case File 3 doesn't look like it's on there yet. I have the main box set, and then Fiery Angels, which is case file number 2. They don't have case file 3 up and available just yet. So yeah, I'm thinking I might have to get Dragon Bane sometime, at some point. Roger, you run you run at MEPA? Look up MEPA. MEPACon, Mid-Eastern Pennsylvania Gaming Convention. April, Lehigh Valley. My daughter went to Lehigh. My niece went to Lehigh University. So yeah, well, like I said, my next one is going to be Rogers Convention. I'm gonna take it a little bit easy um, this year, and then it'll be Rogers, then a very local one, and then ShireCon. Definitely going to ShireCon in September. That's a very local con for me anyway. It's less than an hour away, so I'm definitely going to that. You go April and October. All right. Huh, you went to Lehigh also. Yeah, she went for graphic arts, and now she's a production. Um, she's a producer for an anime company out in Atlanta. I'm looking to see. Okay, anyway, so let's see. So, so again, so Roger, I'm gonna probably have you on sometime. Yours is in June. Definitely like to have you on in April. That gives us about 2 months before your convention that we could really start pushing it, and then so we'll do it in April, and then early June. Have you back on early June and see where everything stands, and give it another push at that point as well. Um, I forget, Ducato, you're going to make it to that one, right? Oh, you should definitely go to Shire Con, Roger. That I think you'll be really, really impressed with. It'll be a good con to compare, what you've done and where you could take it to, in the next step. So yeah, I think that you'll really appreciate Shire Con. Um, yeah. Oh, that's cool, Ducato. So I'll see you there. Um, yeah, Shire Con, I think you'll really like, Roger. I think it'll be a great thing for you to see as a learning experience, and then you can, because they're a small con also. They're around 150 people or maybe 200 at this point, so very small con, and very well organized and put together. And oh, that'll be cool, Matthew. Yeah, if you can make Shire Con and everything. Shire Con is I will put that one up here too. I don't think I don't think he has up the newest one though. not sure if he has the newest ShireCon up for 2025. Nope, it's still ShireCon 2024. As yeah, so ShireCon 2025, the page is not up yet. It's usually the last week of September, but that's not up yet. I'll have to reach out to Tom and see when he's putting up the flyer for it. When he's going to start piecing it together. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this one up so I can maybe get a little bit of rest. It is 9 p.m. here. So hey guys, thanks for popping in. So just as a recap very quickly, be on the lookout for continued coverage of Mighty Protectors. Be on the lookout for Amazing Adventures. So continued coverage of Amazing Adventures. And next Thursday at 8:15, I will be interviewing Jason Vey, the creator of Amazing Adventures, and be talking about what his next few projects are going to be related to Amazing Adventures. So that will be a nice preview. Maybe some breaking news during that. And yeah, I appreciate the well wishes. So hopefully I'm kind of over it by tomorrow. And I will, really hoping to get back into gaming and back into being able to talk for 3 hours straight, during a game session. As you can see, I'm still struggling with a couple coughing fits here, fits here and there. Yeah, I can't wait for that, for that interview. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, he's Jason Vey is he's kind of a quiet guy, so it'll be interesting to see, how much he, really opens up during it, because I'm giving him the floor. So hopefully he he goes, really out there and sees, see how excited he's going to be. I want to also bring on some other people from like Chuck Cumbo from Trollord Games. I mean, he's a phenomenal person. I mean, I played in his game. We had a great time, and he is going to, be, I think an amazing person to interview. So you got to play in one of his games, all right? So that's cool. And chat about, and you chatted about AA and Paige. So how was his game? I didn't, get a chance to. I didn't see that he was like, I already signed up for all of my games before I knew, but and then after the fact, I found out that he was running games there. I played in Nerdarchy Ted's Zoo Mafia game, and that was a lot of fun. He actually did it. He did an excellent job running that adventure. Considering, and Takata will understand this, considering he had a player in that kind of tried to steer the adventure a little bit. That same person didn't do that in my game, but he certainly tried to steer it in his, and he managed it pretty well. So yeah, he went along with it, and for the most part, and he did a good job. So that was a lot of that was a really fun game. That's a Kickstarter I will back, is because that game was just a lot of fun to play in. So yeah, all the Trollord guys are a lot of fun to chat with. I've interviewed and now met Stephen Chenault, the one time, and I interviewed him twice. Chuck, I met, in person, and and Jason Vey was really interesting as well. So that's cool. And let's see, yeah, yeah. Oh boy, well, yeah, it was. He was much different with Nerd Ted than he was in my game, and that's probably because he was more familiar with Ted. I think he was a little bit more reserved in my game. But he was a good player. I mean, he certainly, you know, I think from time to time he kind of overthought things a little bit, and it was like, it's more simple than that. But but yeah, no, he was bold when he had to be. He was not adverse to combat, so that was a pretty cool thing. He was a good player. I didn't have any problem with him. Hey, thank you, Mercurius, otherwise known as my ear trumpet, has been struck by lightning. Oh, excuse me. And Stephen, you're the recipient of Steve. You are the recipient of that. So that's cool. I will be giving out the rest of my monthly memberships next Thursday. So that's the 30th of January. I'll be giving out those, and I will probably give back, to the community a little bit, and I will purchase another 5. So I will be giving out a total of 10. I'll be giving out a total of 10 memberships, free memberships next week. Yeah, no, I was very happy with our interaction with him, and yeah, I'm glad that we had it. I've been watching some of his videos. He's been talking, and we've been sharing some stories. Like, I shared my story with my first meeting with Gary Gygax and Heidi Gygax back in 1985. He was telling a story of his meeting with Heidi Gygax here at Page 2. The reason why I didn't go to actually see her and talk to her is because of the last time I saw her was 40 years ago, and I just didn't want to bring it up, again. It was like, it would have been weird. Um, so I didn't. I didn't. There was 2 people I didn't talk to there that I could have, like Bob Worldbuilder. I saw him from time to time, and he always looked like he was going someplace, and I just didn't have a conversation with him, or even introduce myself even briefly with him. Like I said, he always looked like he was going somewhere, so I just didn't engage with him at all. But I met, I spoke a couple times with Professor Dungeon Master. I spoke to Stephen Glicker. I spoke very briefly with Ben Milton and Justin Alexander. Yeah, Justin Alexander. I spoke to who else? YouTubers wise. Oh, Baron Durop. I spoke a little bit to him as well at the hotel, actually. Again, I got the opportunity to meet Chelsea Dion. She actually came to my table while I was running Shadow Dark, so that was really, really cool. And she signed both my copies of Shadow Dark. Wrote one out to my niece and the other to me. So it was incredible to meet her, and I had actually several conversations with her as well, and she recognized me because she watched my channel before, and she's was very appreciative of all the support I've been giving to Shadow Dark. So I'm hoping at some point to have her on the channel. So I've been talking to her people, and they said, once she gets out of this, this series of things going on, but probably before her Kickstarter on March 11th. Um, so hopefully I can have her come on the channel and we can chat and talk about that Kickstarter when it launches. So that's something is kind of in the works, and I'm hoping that it really does come through. I'd love to have her on the channel and talk about her next series of projects for both her Kickstarter. Her Kickstarter is going to be 3 more zines, and those are awesome. If you haven't taken a look at those, so definitely looking forward to that. Let's see. Ben was in a game I ran at Page. Oh, cool. Definitely a highlight for me of the long way game. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Oh, I played in. I played in the game with Sly Flourish and his wife. So yeah, that was one of the that was a Castles and Crusades game. So I had them both. Um, they were both in my group, and yeah, it was a pretty good adventure. We had a good time with it, and and it was a lot of fun. That was Castles and Crusades: The Oath, and it was I was playing a Yakuza in that, so that was pretty cool. Wow. You see, and one of our mutual individuals that we both know has been saying that can't find Shadow Dark in stores. So maybe the stock is back up again. I believe Shadow Dark has been sold out 3 times already. So it's been on back order 3 times already. So it's definitely selling off the shelves, and so much that they keep on back ordering it. And so will it be in bookstores like traditionally, or just selling off its website? I don't think that it necessarily needs to sell in bookstores in order for it to be equally successful. Unless, of course, let me see. Yeah, let's see if they're currently sold out. No, they're not currently sold out. So they must be back in stock again. Looking at Castles and Crusades. Now it's $60 $59 for one book, but the whole game is contained in the one book, so that's not bad at all. I don't know if you can get the collector's edition any longer. So I'm glad that I got the collector's edition. I should get a T-shirt. Oh, I already have a T-shirt. That's right. I was gonna say I should get a T-shirt. But yeah, that's yeah. They don't have the collector's edition anymore. Not listed anymore. So I'm doubly glad that I got that for my niece. They just got restocked. Yeah, they're on the 3rd printing of ST. Yeah. So that's a really good sign. I don't know what her print runs are, like how much she's putting out in each one, but it's got to be in the tens of thousands that that they've been going. I wonder if you could look that up. Let's see, Shadow Dark sales. I don't know if you can get sales figures on it, estimated sales. Yeah, people saying, "What's the deal with Shadow Dark sale availability?" It keeps on selling out. But anyway, all right, I'm going to wrap this one up. You all have a great night, and I look forward to seeing you on a gaming screen or at a convention sometime soon. As I've been saying, my next convention is going to be Central New York in June, and we'll see if anything else comes up in between now and then. But that will give me plenty of time to tweak my adventures and have them even more uh, even more ready to roll out. And I think Kelsey said that only one way collector's editions will come back is with another Kickstarter. Cool. Like I said, I'm glad I got one, and like I said, I'm giving that to my niece, so I'll be good. I'll be good to go. I know she had said to me, she said, I can always arrange for, somehow to get you another collector's edition. Um, you know, um, because she like felt bad that I was giving it to my niece, but not really. But I kind of left it up to her. I was like, which one should I give to my niece? And she was like, oh, don't make me make that decision. I said, no, whichever one you say goes to my niece is the one that she gets. And I knew she was going to go with the collector's edition anyway. So yeah. Yep. I will see you in June, Roger. All right. You'll have a good one.